What is good, guys? How's everybody doing out there? It is your boy, my running kid here. Again, my pack. We are here because it is coming to the end of the month. It is the final week of May. It's time to open the floodgates, open the mic to you guys. You got questions. I got the answers. Let's do this. More importantly, guys, I hope you had a good Memorial Day. And outside of that, let's get it started. So, first thing first, let's put on a little mood music. I need to get into the groove a little bit. So let's hit this. And now. All right. So, my pack, what are your questions? Let's get it started. It is always good to be back and kick it with you guys for a while. Started a little late. I had scheduled it for a 9 o'clock shift, but I was eating. Sorry, your boy got to eat. Taco Tuesday. I made some tacos and needed to get some nourishment in my belly. Outside of that, here, guys. Let me get to your questions. So let's see. Okay, hold on. Technical difficulty. There we go. Anyway, questions are in the screens right here. And let's see what we got. So let's see who is in the running tonight with me. Who's running with your outfit tonight? Let's check it out. So we got Quentin, we got Andre, we got Travis, we got Caroline, we got Cyborg, and we got Glide. And we got Black. Like 7 o'clock in San Diego. Yeah, that's a 3-hour difference. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock over here. Seth Perry's in the house. We're off. All right, so we got a couple of people in the house. So, who else we got before I start kicking it into overdrive? Noble Assassin is in the house. What's good, bro? As always, that's good stuff right here. So let me one more thing before or anything. Let me okay. Anybody who's been asking, I know there's been a couple of people who's been asking, like, how what's the new format in terms of the streaming? Like, how are you doing it now? I'm not using YouTube as much as I used to. Now I'm on StreamYard. So that's why I can put like background music and things like that into my streams. So yeah. So that answers somebody's question. I know somebody asked me that. So yeah. Let's get to these questions. I'm sure you guys want to know my opinions on certain things, but like I always say, like the title says, just when you think you know the questions. Rest in peace, Rowdy Cracker. Sorry. But let's see what we got. So most people are saying, hey, talking to people. All right. Did you hear about Edge breaking his leg? Yes, I did, Travis. Didn't watch the AEW pay-per-view 2 nights ago, but I heard he jumped off the cage against Aleister Black and crashed. It almost reminded me of when Macho Man did it. And Gangrel was there, so that was really cool. I was like, oh, cool. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, he hurt himself, and I mean, the guy is not a spring chicken anymore. Man's in his 50s. So, you know, and I know Beth probably chewed his ass out. Big time. Was like, what were you thinking? Like, you know, it is what it is. Let's see. How you doing, Chris? I am good, Andre. I'm good. Everyone's here. I just graduated last week, and I was not afraid. Like Kyle always says, don't be afraid. Congratulations, Quentin. Congratulations on your graduation. Andre, so here's a question for you. Do you think that teenage stand-up priest werewolf superheroes could work in DC Comics? Are you talking about what? The Santa Priscane? Where I maybe, I guess. Cyborg axes. What Marvel characters besides Daredevil and Spider-Man do you see the Joker? You've asked me this question before. You've asked me the same questions again, and I've said it before. There's plenty of them. It's the same question. I've said this before. Outside of, I said it. Punisher. I said Moon Knight. I've said these questions before, Cyborg. So, have you seen the new adventures of my Adventures of Superman? And yes, I did. I watched it that night after, because I DVR it, so I did watch it. I will be putting up a review of the 2 episodes of the premiere. I enjoyed it very much. Probably the most badass looking Atomic Skull animated wise. It was great. I'll talk more about it later. We'll see that soon. Moving on, we have Quentin Axes. You know one thing about Pokemon always makes me angry is that Ash always gets tricked by Team Rocket over. I mean, they always do. It's the catch. It's like the quintessential rub. Like they always get. It's the same thing. You know, they never learn. It's like that in a lot of anime sometimes. Like certain things, like it's just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. It really is. It's just so stupid. It's just the dumbest thing to see these kids or whatever get tricked by the same old. And you would think Pikachu would have their scent, but like, oh, I know who this is. It's just dumb. It's stupid. Perry King, hey Chris, hey Warhawk, hey no, let's see. NWO for life. Okay. Just messing with you. Will you read Predator versus Black Panther? Yes, I will. I will be reading that. I still need to put up my video. I actually talk about it. I will be reading that like I did Wolverine versus Predator. If you haven't checked out my review, go read it. I will read it in trade as I did Wolverine versus Predator. And Mr. Percy has stated that he knows what the next book will be versus Predator. So he's got this plan. This is all working process, all progress. So he knows where he's going with this. it makes sense. Why wouldn't the Predator want to go into Wakanda and try to get vibranium, you know? But you go into Wakanda trying to steal, big mistake. Let's see. Andre, you actually, so do you think that Starfire should get another solo title again at this point? This depends on the writer. We gotta also remember, guys, the business is more of now, it is exactly what I just said. The comic industry is more of a business now. It is about what character sells. It's not about, this character should deserve it. It's not about that anymore. That's the thing I think people need to realize is that. And also, not every character needs a solo series. Some characters are better based in teams than solo. As much as I love God knows I love Corey. There are points where I even said Dick Grayson should be with Corey instead of Babs. Love Barbara, but I love Dick and Corey's relationship more. The point about it is that it's more of a business now. They look at it from numbers and units and how much is sold. The Starfire comic was okay. The last one that I read, but that was kind of under New 52, and I don't really got a lot of good things that I liked under the New 52 flag. Galactic Persons axes. Now that Predator will be clashing with Black Panther, what other superheroes could we see the Predator clashing with? I talked about this before as well. Wherever Ben Percy is going with his stories, because the first one was obvious. We knew he was going to be. They had to do Wolverine versus Predator. Perfect. And I like that story of how it was Predator basically chasing Wolverine over the course of all his years and always trying to find some way of really killing this guy. Like, I can't kill this guy. Like, he keeps coming back. I mean, this Predator went so far as to attack the X-Mansion. Like, he was becoming so desperate in his means of killing Wolverine, but he never could find a way. And even at the end, which I don't want to spoil, but it just shows how much of as much as I love the Yautja, they're cowards. It's like, they cannot take that L. It's like, can't take the L, so boop, 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 boop. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I personally would love to see them maybe go after the Guardians. That would be kind of cool. I know somebody said, how about Thor? I said, fuck no. It's like, hell no. It's like the goodbye Predator. Ain't no way no Predator is surviving Thor. I know somebody wanted the Hulk, and I'm like, yeah, that's dumb too. So yeah. It would be interesting to see, but no. Maybe Ghost Rider. So maybe one of the supernatural characters. That would be interesting. At least MJF is back in AEW. He is awesome. MJF is back, and I did see that clip of him paying homage to Triple H. He needs to be more careful now. Stop taking stupid risks that he took. You don't need to be Darby Allin. We don't need two Darby Allins. Darby is enough. I mean, the dude up here in New York got hit by a bus. And, he got hit by a bus. And that's legit. He got hit by a bus. He was on his way to a Broadway show and got hit by a bus. And he was already recovering from an injury. And it's just crazy to see. But he's like that. I'm upset that my girl Willow Nightingale lost. I'm upset with that. Personally, me, I would have not had Mercedes win. I would have had her lose. I would have swerved everybody. She would have lost. I understand why they did it, but at the same time, we didn't even give Willow a real grind with that title. But now she's going to be probably one of the biggest female baby faces in that company just after what happened. I knew it was coming. I knew sooner or later we were going to see Statlander turn heel. But yeah, no, I love Willow. I love her. I love her smile. I love her look. I love everything about that woman. And wouldn't you want to wake up to that smile? Come on. So what do you think about the United States Space Force? None. So Chris, what do you think? Just did that. JP, what anime, manga, video game crossovers would be dope? Anime, manga, video game crossover. You mean a video game that's based off a manga? Or an anime? Because crossover with who? Crossover with who? Anime and manga are pretty much the same. Anime is adapting from this, which, oh yeah, there you go. This is Fire Force. There's an anime about this. Where do you think they get it from? This. So what are you crossing over with? Now, if you're talking about like maybe a comic or something like that, one of them would probably be Deadpool and Black Lagoon or something like that. I would dig that. That'd be cool. Let's see what else we got. Quentin asks, how will Image bring back Jackie? I don't know. Right now, they are Top Cow Image, not Image alone. Top Cow right now is bringing back Witchblade, which is great. I can't wait to read some Witchblade. Witchblade was always my favorite. And more likely he'll probably debut in that somewhere down the line, and then of course they'll probably spin out of that. That's fine. But in the meantime, I can't wait to read Marjorie Bennett's Witchblade. She's worked on Witchblade before when they tried to change it and give it to oops, sorry about that. Yeah, they've done it before with they had a different wielder of the Witchblade, a different version of it. But this is Sarah Pazzini again. They're basically just relaunching it again with Sarah. I'm fine with that. It's gonna be for old viewers as well as new viewers, so I'm good. Perry King, could you see Predator clashing with the likes of Kraven the Hunter? Yeah, but they already done somebody like Wolverine. Wolverine was a better choice. Say what you want, but Kraven, I really wouldn't care to see that. I wanted to see Wolverine more, and I got it. If they want to do, and it seems to be that Ben Percy is building up to something. It looks like it's building up to Predator, the Yautja versus the Marvel Universe in some way, because that's what it kind of seems like. You know, it kind of seems that way. Okay, if Green Lantern existed in the Marvel Universe, could I see Hal Jordan and Carol Danvers being a couple? No. Carol would bitch slap. Carol would not stand Hal's arrogance. And besides, Carol would look at Rhodey more than him. Not a chance. Hal just he's arrogant, and Carol don't like that. Not a chance. You got to remember, Carol was in the Air Force. Hal didn't spend that long in the Air Force. He became a test pilot real quick. Could I see them working together? Maybe. Yeah, but again, even if the Green Lanterns were in the Marvel Universe, which I've done your request on that too, I still would see them clashing with the Nova Force, because that's pretty much the Marvel equivalent to the Green Lanterns. And in all honesty, the Nova Force is actually a lot stronger than the Lantern Corps. They don't need a ring. They don't need like willpower. What I love about the Nova Force compared to the Lantern is like there is a ranking and power structure with the Lanterns, with the Nova Force compared to the Lanterns. Like you start out as a Nova Corpsman and you work your way up, Nova Sentinel, Nova this, Nova, until you can maybe reach that highest level, which is a Nova Prime, which is what Richard Rider is. You know, you don't see that with the Lanterns. Yeah, they got seniority, but it's like I'll take the Nova Force any day over a Lantern, because again, it still comes down to that ring. The ring still needs to be charged. Yes, whatever core you're with, but the ring needs to be charged. It's still based on your willpower if you're a Green Lantern, but at the end of it still needs to be checked. There are weaknesses to that. So far, there have been no real true weaknesses to a Nova Corps member, especially in power. I would rather be the Human Rocket than anything. And that's not a dig at the Lanterns, but it's just how I feel. Andre, I originally meant to say that, do you think that the teenage werewolf superhero from Santa Prisca, Bane's home country, that's what I thought, could work in DC Comics? I guess, yeah. I know what you said. Okay. If Team Rocket tried to trick me, I would say to them, just cut the crap. I know it's you. It's obvious. What is Predators? What is the Predators? What if the Predator tried to hunt Akuma? Predator was in the Street Fighter universe. Well, first and foremost, Akuma would hate him because Akuma would think they're cowards. You're using weapons. You ever seen Akuma use a sword or a knife? He is the fucking weapon. He is the goddamn weapon. He hates that. He hates that. If you can't fight without weapons, he will murder you for that. Go play Street Fighter 4 with Crimson Viper and play with Akuma. Meet Crimson Viper. He ridicules her so much. Like, you and your fancy weapon, your fancy toys, you're a disgrace. Nobody respects her. It's like, yeah, it sucks. So if you're gonna fight Akuma or challenge him, you better come with just your fists. And I don't think the Predator can do that. He should be able to. Yeah, we've seen it kind of in the movie. Like, yeah, he fought Arnold afterward. He respected Arnold that he had no weapons. So yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, Dutch and Akuma are two different entities. And Akuma, I think, would rip a Yauch's head right off real quick. So Andre answered, could be an awesome idea. Could it be an awesome idea for a potential new Kamala Khan? Kamala Khan is Marvel villain. What could be a potential? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Doctor, do you remember the Warner Brothers Studios store? They had one in Times Square. I remember them having one in Times Square. They don't have it no more. They still got the Disney store out there, but not the Warner Brothers Studios store. Perry King, is the Wolfman your favorite out of all the Universal monsters? No, actually not. He's up there. He's one of them. The other one is the creature from the Black Lagoon, which I can't wait to read the comic of the creature. The creature lives. I love that movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Andre, what do you think is the worst Spider-Man villain that you ever heard of and read? Oh, that's easy. The fuck is her name? Oh shit. Oh god. Oh damn it, I'm forgetting her name. Oh, she's one of the big time villains. Fuck, I'm forgetting her name. I hate that character. I hate the Jackal, but not as much as I don't like her. Damn it, what is her name? She does, like, she's a streamer. Fuck, I'm forgetting her name. I can't. They're stupid. This is the dumbest character of us. God damn it. If y'all remember, tell me in comments. I can't remember, but she's definitely one of them. Tony Khan, not a good booker. That's from Travis. Tony Khan, he does need help from time to time, and I got no problems with it because you got a lot of loyal AEW fans that don't see nothing wrong that's going on in that company, and I'm clearly not. I'm a fan, but I am not a nutty hugger fan that can't see that. I can see a lot of things going wrong, and the biggest thing, one of them, is that women's division. He does not push that women's division as he needs to. I mean, look at it now. Who does it? It completely centers around nearly two people. It'll give you a clue who they are. You should already know. They're like the match between Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb is great, and she was supposed to be the babyface in that match with her and Toni Storm. She legit almost died. She was having legit seizures. That crowd booed the shit out of her, and all they care about is Tony. And it's just like, then TK, you're seeing that? Then turn this chick face, not a heel. Everything she said to Serena Deeb up until that match was heel tactics, and it was like, why is she a heel then? You know, I don't want to hear her shitstorm. Like, I was like, good God, like the stuff that she was saying. I'm like, this woman was legit. Serena Deeb legit was having these crazy seizures that they couldn't really explain. Have you ever seen somebody with seizures? Trust me, I have. This is the scariest thing to see, from seeing where your body just is convulsing and you have no control over it. I used to work with children who had handicaps, mental handicaps, things like that. And one of the kids, one of the young adults, his name was Craig, and he used to have seizures at nights. So whenever we were with him, like, because I was like I guess you could say they call me a disability specialist, and I used to work that, and they lived in this residence, and I was with them for 8 hours a day. I would help them do repetitions and things. They were what you call low functioning, so I had to do a lot more for them. And at night, he would have seizures, and I used to tell, like, whenever I trained somebody new, like whether they were working the morning shift or the evening shift like me, or even the overnight shift, I used to tell them when I would point to Craig, I was like, in his room, I'm like, this is Craig. Do not, I repeat, do not wake him up out of his sleep to go use the bathroom or something like that. He will get up by himself. Do not wake him up, because it can trigger a seizure. I'm telling you right now. And there's many times people would do it, and I literally look at them after he suffers his seizure, like, what the fuck? Didn't I tell you not to do that? Like we used to, when he would go to sleep, we used to pull a cot out. So if he fell off his bed, he'd fall on it. One of the scariest one that happened first time I saw it, he was in his bed, and I just saw his eyes rolling in the back of his head, like it looked like he was possessed. It scared the shit out of me. And afterwards, I knew every time after a while, I got kind of used to it. Used to it is a slight way of saying I still wasn't comfortable with it, but I understood. The one that scared me the most is when this rookie, that's exactly what she was. She woke him up because she was doing the overnight shift. Woke him up, told him, "Get up, Craig, go to the bathroom," like literally shaking him. And I'm like, wait, she waking up? I'm about to leave, and I go back. I'm like, Craig is up, and he's just like you could look in his eyes. Something was going. And so I looked at, and I said to her, I said, "Hey, didn't I tell you not to? Why'd you wake him up? He needs to go to the bathroom." I'm like, I told you he'd get up by himself. Don't worry about it. And as soon as I turn my back real quick, seizure starts. He's standing, and he falls, leans this way. And if I didn't catch him, he would have bust his head on his bed frame. And I caught his head, and I was like, and I literally just had to lay him down while he was having a seizure. And I never screamed so loud at a stranger before in my life. I looked at her, and I'm like, I was just going off. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what, didn't I tell you don't do that? And it just pissed me off so badly. I stayed with him another hour just so he can go. He fell back asleep, and then I left. I didn't even say goodbye to her. I just walked out the door because I was so pissed off at her. So yeah, seizures are no jokes. They're scary, and I can only imagine if you're not epileptic and you're just having them, and doctors can't really diagnose what they are, why you're having them. That's scary, and that's what Serena Deebs was going through. And to see they tried to use that maybe to get her over a little bit, it didn't work because nobody cared. Nobody. But Tony Khan he's not the great booker that people think he is. I seem to know it. Travis, you seem to know it. But there are fans that think, oh, nothing goes wrong in AEW. Bullshit. Get off your house. And I'll say that on AEW. I will say that about WWE. I don't care. I will say JPX, both like Shonen versus Capcom. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, they've done mangas on Street Fighter. I have a couple. So yeah, things like that. Andre, so which Black Lagoon character would be a good villain for Frank Castle? There's a lot. It's not even just one. There's a lot. There's pretty much a lot. But could you imagine seeing like Roberta going after Frank? Oh, Frank being you need a cup of coffee for that. Because Roberta's like the Terminator. She keeps coming. Is the new Witchblade a reboot? It's like a soft reboot, but it's cool. I've seen images of it. It's great. Looks great. So any particular thoughts on the upcoming Baki-Hama? Yeah, I can't wait to see that crossover. Like Baki and Kagan, which just seemed that started out as just a fan like service, and then it actually is going to happen. That's cool. Hey, I'm leaving on a trip tomorrow. Where you going, Caroline? Where you going? What will Makima from Chainsaw Man think of Dante? You would think he's kind of cool. I think that'd be kind of cool, but That'd be interesting. Dante and Devil May Cry Chainsaw Man crossover. That'd be kind of cool. I thought they did a great job adapting the first volumes of Chainsaw Man in the anime. I know they brought out the Kaiju #8. I gotta check it out because I'm way ahead. I wonder how far they're gonna go into because I'm way ahead in that manga. I love Kaiju #8. That's a good. It's fun. Can you see the Kingpin coming to Bloodhaven? I know where Bloodhaven is. You don't have to tell me. Yeah, I mean, if it's profitable, yeah. I mean, he would probably be going up against Blockbuster, most likely, fighting for territory there. Do you think Muscle Man and Guy Gardner would be good friends if they met? Nope. The egos would be too much. Would Thor get along with Lord Liu Kang? Yes. Caroline, I'm going to Italy. Hey, nice. Imagine if Baki and Tekken crossed over. That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. Very interesting. I could see definitely some interesting takes on that. Like how would the Mashiba family think of, Yujiro Hama calling himself the strongest creature man in the world and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah. Let's see. Moving on. We are going to Perry King says, why did Doug go to Disney? I think because Disney bought it for a while. I can't remember. I hated it when it went to Disney. They ruined Disney ruined the whole aspect of Doug, what made Doug great with Nick compared to when they did like that. Screwball. Thank you, Warhawk. Fuck her. Can't stand. I hate that character. Hate her. What do you think about the new MonsterVerse movie, Godzilla King? I thought it was great. I still want to put up a review of it. I know people probably been asking me like, "Hey, what's the movie reviews? Have you been watching any movies?" Yeah, I have. I've seen. I just haven't put them up. I will put them up. I promise. I enjoyed that very much. It was good to see them, Kong and them fighting together. But yeah, I thought it was funny seeing Godzilla suplex. That was hilarious. But yeah, I love that. That scene was just funny because to me it was like Kong is like, he's like, hey man, like I'm not here to fight. Like please come here, come. He's going like, hey, stop, like let's. And Godzilla's almost like you, like it was like, oh, you want another thrashing? Okay, let's be real. You could have killed Kong at any time you want. That's what you get. See, that's what these fans who think Kong could beat Godzilla. That's what would have happened. You see, that's what would have happened. So as far as I'm concerned, we're keeping track of the score. It's tied 1-1. I question that one because that ending was dumb in the first one. So, moving on, we have Art Mizo. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm probably. Could Dr. Fate beat Hulk? I mean, yeah, depending on which Hulk we're talking about. I mean, look, Hulk beat Doctor Strange when he was possessed by a demon. People sleep on the Hulk. The Hulk is a lot stronger than you think, and I could see Hulk grabbing Naboo off of Kent Nelson's head and probably trying to break it. But yeah, he could probably trap him for a while. Probably could. Do you mean France? AK Street? No, I don't mean Street. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about Screwball. Warhawk just said it. I don't mind Street. Street is fine. That's Carnage's girlfriend. The mutant. She's a mutant. I don't mind. Quentin asks, how would Akuma will Joy fighting in Gates of Hell? Would Akuma find Joy fighting in the Gates of Hell? I don't. Maybe. Let's see. Moving on. All right. There we go. I like Serena Deeb. Not only is she talented, but she is from the DC area. Yeah, she's from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. I've known Serena Deeb's. I first got into Serena Deeb through the indie circuit, through Shimmer. That's where I first saw her. She looked a lot different there. She was a lot more thicker, stacker. Like she took out her boobs, because her boobs used to be bigger than that. But she was a lot, and she had a really good story going on in Shimmer, with her, and there was a couple of people, but one of the biggest ones was her and she now trains the women in WWE. She calls herself the Queen as well. I'm forgetting her name right now, but she had a good run there, and then she went up to WWE, and they made her a part of the CM Punk's group. I didn't care for that, and then she left. She got healthy again. She got into yoga and all that stuff. She came back again. It was great to see her back. Is great. She's great. She's a talent. She's talented. And I look at the talent that AEW has in terms of women's, and I'm like, why isn't this one being pushed? What this like? I look at, for example, you want a prime example of this? Why is Athena segregated to ROH? Nobody cares. I'm sorry. Nobody cares about ROH. Why is she not on the main roster, main AEW program? She's, if anything, ROH should be AEW's version of NXT. That's personally me, because nobody cares about, or nobody watches ROH. Don't. And when I look at some of the women, I look at Anna Jay, and I'm like, has she come far? Yes. But where is she? She's still in the same position she is now. Nothing has changed about a lot of people. It sucks. As much as who else am I thinking about? Forgetting her name. I'm bugging out on names right now. As much as Abaddon has trimmed down, she lost a lot of weight. She trimmed herself up, got in better shape. Where is she now? It's like they could have really marketed her so much better, and they don't. And I love Abaddon too. I love the character that she plays. This like she's a zombie. Like she plays it so well, and you don't see her. I mean, I've seen her without the makeup, what she looks like, and she's very pretty. I was like, whoa. I was like, wow, she's pretty. But whenever she always, if she doesn't have her makeup on, she covers her face. things like that. But outside of that, like, talent that they have is like they're not getting the proper. And it's like, to me, it's like, okay, who's gonna take this title from Tony? It's like, are you? To me, everybody keeps saying it's gonna be her protege. That I don't even call her a protege, just her stalker. But it's like, if it's not gonna be this person, and it's not gonna be this person, it's just like, you're just stack padding her, but you're just having her run through pretty much everybody for nothing. How do you cope with getting older? I don't feel old. The best way is just take it one day at a time. You know what keeps me young? My hobbies that I love keep me young, so it's not even a case of that. What will happen if the Voldemites try to jump the Juggernaut? Depending on the Voldemite, but I think Juggernaut could take out a few of them. Voldemort are not as powerful as they make them seem. They're not that strong. You can hurt them, and Juggernaut can fucking hurt somebody. If you let Kane go ham on, he'll hurt one of them. Her name is Screwball. Yeah, everybody's talking about that. For WWE, do you also like the bloodline fatigue? Do you also have the bloodline fatigue? I do. I was having the bloodline fatigue for a while, but to be honest, look, the bloodline, that is probably one of the biggest stories as of late in WWE, and you could tell they don't want to let it go because it's still, people are still intrigued by it. I don't think Solo is the proper person to be leading it, in a sense, and I think that's the reason why we haven't seen Jacob Fatu yet, because if he comes in, I have a feeling he will overshadow his cousin. I think, his cousin completely. Having Tamatonga and his brother with them is interesting. And don't get me started on. Notice Tamatonga ain't making that gremlin noise anymore, right? That shit was funny. Once he did that, I'm like, man, what is this, Gremlins? Because he sounded like a gremlin. It was funny as hell. But I'm kind of over the fatigue. I'm just like, I want to see this bloodline versus bloodline story. That's what I'm looking forward to. Because we all know who's calling the shots for them. It ain't Roman Reigns. What would Moon Knight think of Batman and vice versa? I've answered this question a lot of times too. Is like, Bruce may not approve of what Mark does, but and Mark may, depending on which persona is there, if it's Steven, if it's Mark, or if it's Jake, it'd be different. So it's a different answer for all of them. Caroline asks, I've been reading a lot lately. I recently read Steelworks about the character Steel. Steelworks is great. I've been a Steel fan for a long time. I've always had love for John Henry Irons. That was a good read because you know who wrote that miniseries? Michael Dorn, the same actor that voiced him in the original DC animated universe. So it was really cool to see Michael Dorn write Steel. So it was cool. Worf, for any Trekkie out there. I am clear. Yes. Noble Assassin asks, thoughts on the Assassin's Creed Backlash? Oh boy. I had a feeling this may come up from somebody, one of you guys. I had recorded a whole rant and I decided not to upload it. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I deleted it off my phone, my camera. But I had a whole So for anybody who's an AC fan, if you don't know, the newest Assassin's Creed game that's coming out soon is the one that's going to be based in Japan. The one I've been waiting for. And what's really cool is they're going back to being able to play with two characters. Sorry. Sorry. I got a tweet. So. Not a tweet. I can text. The last time last game that in Assassin's Creed game where we were able to play with two characters was Assassin's Creed Syndicate. With the Fry twins, which is cool. That one took place during the Industrial Revolution, England, and you play with Jacob and Evie, his sister, and they were the Fry twins. And Jacob started this group called the Rooks, and they would go around London and make sure we deal with things like child slave labor and all this stuff. I enjoyed doing those missions. So it's been a while, but in this, we're actually going to play with two characters. One of them is a first because the reason why it's a first is because the character is an actual character in history. Usually, we all know Assassin's Creed, those games, they will take historical figures and add them into their game, and they will become like supporting characters. Like, for example, throughout all of Ezio's run, Leonardo da Vinci was probably one of his biggest allies. It's because of him you can get to use Da Vinci's flying machine, which he did create. He didn't create it, but he designed it, the flying machine, but he never tested it. But this time we're getting to use a character from Japanese lore, and that character is the samurai, first black samurai, Yosuke. And the other character is a shinobi whose father is a real character. She's just a made-up character. After I saw that, I was hyped. Then what's happened? Then you get all this backlash of just sheer dumb. You got all these, and this is what I call them, cockroaches, coming out of the ground, coming out of the darkness, coming out of the woodwork, and then they run their mouths and, oh my God, why is this character in there, blah, 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 blah. You couldn't give this to an Asian character, blah, blah, blah. Da 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 blah 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 blah. It's like, I wish we can go back to the days where a new game drops, the trailer comes out, we're excited, and nobody just goes to thinking, oh, why is that character? Oh, this is some kind of agenda, or that's why I said. It's like, oh my God, that rant. I went off on those fans because what pissed me off the most was it just showed that they don't know the history. Yosuke was real. He's real. There's pictures of him. He was a real samurai during the 15th century. He served under Nobunaga. And what really also pisses me off is you got these people out here calling him that he wasn't a samurai. He was just a retainer. Fuck you. Okay? No. You don't just call yourself a samurai. If you know samurai lore and history, no, you don't just call you that. That daimyo or shogun gives you that honor. What's wrong with you? What we do know about Yosuke, and even Japan themselves acknowledges him as a samurai. What we do know about, he came to Japan in the 15th century through the Portuguese. He was a slave on that ship. They say he was either from East Africa or Mozambique. And when the Japanese saw him, they were in awe of him. because they never seen a black man before. They never seen that. Nobunaga himself, they have said that he actually tried to wipe his skin because they thought he was just dirty. They washed him. But no, it's not only that, he was a big man. They said M.V.K stood 6'2", and at that point, no Japanese person was that tall. You know, so, and he served under Nobunaga. He served under. So to have him in that game, in Assassin's Creed, that just hyped me up because I called that. I said if they do Assassin's Creed in Japan, I said one of the fictional, the historical characters I hope you run across is M.V.K. Instead, they actually put him in the game. So you play him and you play with the female ninja, Konoichi. And it's all this backlash for it. And it's the dumbest excuses I've ever heard in my life. It's just the stupidest thing. Every time I see more hate for it, it just angers me even more. And I try to center myself. I'm like, you know what? Don't let the cockroaches get to you. And don't let them. And whenever I get a chance, I am happy to squash them real quick, put them on notice, or just to educate them, just to shut their eyes and like, you know, oh, this is stupid. There was no real. I've seen comments like, oh, this is stupid. There was no real black samurai. There was no. I'm like, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Oh, why they put this character from that anime? Cockroaches. Just want to squish them. I just want to squish them. Like, you cannot be dense. There's a thing called the internet. Okay? There's a thing called the internet. Or you can go to a place called the library. Look up 15th century Japan. You will find historical character. The first black samurai. They called him M.V.K. It was real. There are pictures of him. Not fake, they're real. He was a big man. A very big man. And themselves acknowledge him. So why is it so fucking hard for people to get behind it? It's dumb. Because people are dumb, stupid, and they don't. Never mind. You know where I'm getting at, Noble. That's what I'm saying. Pisses me off. Next up, I just read the first issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. Good stuff. Deathstroke versus Roberta from Black Lagoon. I pitched that already. I said that. That'd been fun. O-Art says, who would win? Raiden from Metal Gear or Wolverine from X-Men? Wolverine. At the end of the day, you look at Raiden when he kind of goes into his kind of dark state. Now imagine that and Wolverine in his berserk rage. Wolverine will kill him. When Wolverine is in his berserk fury rage, get out. Don't be anywhere near. Get out of there. This is my favorite part in Godzilla, the New Empire, when Kong punches the ape, Star King, and when he uses the little ape as a weapon. Oh, okay. The Tilt Wardlow kept. Yeah, they fucked up on Wardlow. Wardlow is nowhere near where he was before. Whose fault is that? Wardlow, I guarantee you, Wardlow is counting down the days when his contract is up. Ricky Stark, he's counting down the days when his contract is up. You know damn well once his contract, he is not re-signing, he's out of there. He is gone. That's probably why you don't see him no more. And he's not hurt. He's leaving. You can tell who's leaving. You can tell And the more you keep and the thing about it is Tony Khan is constant, but you constantly keep hearing them saying things are not looking good in AEW locker room. People are upset, and I can probably get behind it because they're still in the same spot that they've been in. They're not ascending, they're regressing or just staying here. If you're not a Darby Allin or Orange Cassidy, let's use male-wise, things like that, or this Jericho. Oh my God, Jericho needs to go away. Jericho now gets go away heat. He is. Me and my brother were just talking about it. Like, he needs to go away. He tarnishes his legacy. It's tiring because here we go again. Another fucking stable, Jericho stable. How many has that been so far? And he talks about he elevates young talent. He ain't doing a damn thing. Learning tree my ass. Warhawk, I said, I feel like the current bloodline is like NWO in 90. Yeah, I can agree with that. Gladiator from Marvel versus Omni-Man, and also tell me about Gladiator. Okay, so Clark, not Clark, Clark, the Guardian, the Gladiator, the purple man who's the head of the Imperial Guard, Mohawk, like Superman, and Omni-Man. Omni-Man will put up a great fight, but over time, it would be Gladiator winning. The only way I can see Omni-Man winning is if he legit he builds enough to lower Gladiator's confidence. A lot of people don't notice, but Gladiator's powers also work on his confidence level. If he's confident and in his fight, he's strong as he's nearly invulnerable. He's nearly invincible, I should say. But if his confidence level starts to drop, he gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And they showcased that in Fantastic Four once when he was being held by Sue in just a force field, and he couldn't break it. He just kept getting weaker and weaker. So, but if not, again, the Voldemort are not as powerful as they in their own universe. Yes, but like I hate when they always say, "Oh, the Kryptonians versus Voldemort." Kryptonians would kill them. Kryptonians would kill them. You're talking about Kryptonians who have fully stored, fully charged with yellow sunlight, powers they would kill them. People say like, "Oh, Superman versus Omni." Suits would murder Omni-Man. Would keep telling him, "Stay down." Keep getting, and it's plus. People don't know that Voldemorts have a weakness to high heat. But Superman's, what can he do with them beams? Heat vision is, yeah, that's what I said. Anything you can tell me about Italy? I had a friend that was there last month or so. She loved it. Depending on where you're going, get a lot of gelato, good stuff. So which Marvel animated series would you like to see get a modern update sequel like X-Men 97? Well, the obvious, everybody wants Spider-Man. But for me, it would be great to see Iron Man, Fantastic Four, the Hulk, all those cartoons from the 90s, even ones that didn't. Like, I would have loved to seen Daredevil get a spinoff after he gets started on Spider-Man. And we saw Daredevil in that finale, him, Cloak and Dagger. I was shocked when I saw Cloak and Dagger. I was like, oh, Cloak and Dagger, but it was great, so yeah. And they did acknowledge that's the real Mary Jane. That's not a fake. That's not a clone. That's the real Mary Jane that was with Peter when they were watching. So again, you drop in that, and now it's like, okay, what happened? How did he get her back? See? Is Pyro from the X-Men Australian? Yeah, I believe, yes, he is. I believe he is. That's not just made up. I believe he is. I believe he is. Because I know Claremont made him. But I believe he is. I believe he was. I believe he was Australian. Because yes, yes he is. Yes he was. Yes he is. He's born and raised in Sydney. His real name is St. John Alderdice. So yes, he is really from Australia. Now, what's the name? When they brought him in, the first X-Men, they Americanized him. But no, he's from Australia. So all right, can you guys hear me now? All right, can you guys hear me now? There we go. All right. Sorry about that. The camera died on me. I hate when that camera dies out on me. So where were we? Oh, so yeah, we were talking about Pyro, right? Yeah. So yeah.
Pyro is from he is Australian. He's um he's from Sydney. Uh, Claremont Claremont when Claremont created him, I think people forget that Claremont is not American. He was actually born in England. So a lot of Claremont when Claremont was a lot of the characters, there was a UK division of Marvel. So all those characters like uh like Captain Britain and all of them, yeah, Claremont had a hand in creating before they just were integrated into just the full Marvel scope. So yeah. Um but yes. Uh or you ask does Iceman from X-Men have super strength? No, he does not. He does not have super strength, but he is an Omega level mutant. This guy can do a lot of things. Are you a fan of Naruto? If you are, Naruto can do the clone jutsu, right? Iceman can do that too. He can make clones of himself. He can make giant versions of himself like Sentinels. He can basically replenish himself just from evaporate like mist. Like just the things that he can do now is ridiculous. But he does not have super strength. He can cause an ice age if he wanted to. That's how strong he is. Cult War is just stupid. Culture War, yeah, it's stupid. It is sometimes. Black Widow versus Black Canary versus Chun-Li versus Katana in a hand-to-hand combat fight. Well, Katana would have to put down the fans, that's for sure. Widow can fight without her gear because she does have, but if anything, it'll come down to Chun-Li and Black Canary, and I actually see Chun-Li beating Canary. It's just me. What would happen if Team Rocket tried to trick Spider-Man? That's the dumbest thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean it like that, but no, they'll be dumb. You know that ain't gonna work. Who wins, Batman or Art the Clown? Depending on which Batman we're talking about. Elektra versus Melina. Tie. If I say so. Who would win, Darkhawk or Blue Beetle? Hi, Ma Reyes. Oh, that's a good fight. Dark Hawk, Chris Powell, or are we talking Robbie Reyes, right? We talking Robbie Reyes, or are we talking the original Blue Beetle? Because Chris would kill the other. Well, definitely. I still might give it a little slightly edge to experience. I'm giving experience to Chris Powell. He's been doing it a lot longer than Robbie. So it would actually have to come down to just, in general, the Scarab kind of like helping him in a sense. But Chris is, people don't understand just how strong Darkhawk really is. That armor is more than what it looks like. Did you get why people complaining Doctor Who LGBT elements is the runner? Yeah, I've seen that too. Like people are complaining over Doctor Who, and it's just it's stupid. I can't with this. Does Wolverine call Predator an ugly motherfucker? I don't want to spoil that. You should read it for yourself. Injustice Superman would murder Omni-Man badly. Yeah, but just Superman in general could do it too, without killing him. But I'm tired of the evil Superman trope. That's gotten played out too. That's got completely played out. Injustice in general, when they first did it, it was intriguing, but now it's just like when you think about it as a whole, it's like, to me, it's like, now wait a minute, like even if that happened, Clark would never go down that rabbit hole. He would. Quentin says also this makes me mad when Robert Kirkman, he says Omni-Man and Mark Grayson, they could easily beat. Well, of course he's gonna say that. Those are his creations. He's of course he's gonna stick for his creations. Can Pyro make fire, or he can control it? He can't make fire. Hence why he wears the blow torches. He's a pyrokinetic, meaning he can manipulate the fire into different forms and things like that. But he's not the Human Torch. He's not Sunfire. He's not Firestar. No, he can't do all of that. Which Shang-Chi comics do you recommend? Somebody trying to get into Shang-Chi. Okay, well, Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, whichever one you want to pronounce. I still call him Shang-Chi because I still pronounce his name like Shang Tsung. That's how you spell it. Best way to start is read a few of the original runs. There are omnibuses or epic collections of the original run. Then try to read Shang-Chi under Marvel Knights, which is great. And then to read the Gene Yun run that was currently going. There you go. Where you get to see him meet some of his other brothers and sisters. Shang-Chi and the Quest for Immortality from Scholastic. Oh my God, Scholastic. I remember those days, Scholastic News and things like that. Jesus Christ. Perry, do you still prefer the original 95 original movie over? Yes, I do. I do not care for that new one. I do not. And I don't have any high hopes for the second. Not at all. No, thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, yeah, your audio's out. Yeah, it's back now. Okay, yeah, your audio's out. Yeah, that's why I make sure. That's why I keep my phone sometimes right where I get, so I can hear my audio's messed up. Do you still prefer the original? Yes, I said that. I do prefer the original 95 movie of Mortal Kombat. Yes. If Kung Lao wasn't so arrogant, would he be the M.K. champion? Nope. Still wouldn't be. And you know why I believe that? Because look at the new world. He's not the champion. It's Raiden. He's the Mortal Kombat champion in that. Raiden is not Kung Lao, but even that, he's still arrogant, but still, yeah. Kung Lao's arrogant is his biggest weakness. Always will be. Until somebody just beats the crap out of him, like, just make him humble him. Like, yeah, see? What would Carnage think of Art the Clown? There you go. What if Shang-Chi was champion of Mortal Kombat? That'd be interesting. I think he could. Birch Bear for the win. Quentin, what would not will what would Lobo think of Omni-Man? Same thing he probably thinks of Superman. What would happen? Yo, Quentin, you have to stop saying will. You keep writing will. And what would happen if Omni? What I don't know. You didn't even finish what you wrote. Noble Assassin XL. How do you feel about the Naked Gun reboot? Yeah, I heard about it. Oh, I'm not that excited. I'm a little PO'd about that too. That's Leslie Nielsen's baby, and to see them reboot it with Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin. Frank Drebin is Leslie Nielsen. You know, it's gonna have this reboot is gonna have CC Ponder, Busta Rhymes. I forgot who else is gonna be in it, but I'm just like, I don't know. No. You know, I love the Lethal Weapon. The Naked Gun franchise. Those things always make me laugh, especially the second one. That's probably my favorite. The second one is my favorite. What would happen if Omni-Man attacked the X-Men? It'd be a tough fight, but over time they probably would win. This is the X-Men we're talking about. Professor Xavier alone could probably shut him down just like that. Like, all right, shut down. I'll shut you down. Thanks again. You're welcome. Thank God GTA 6. Thank God GTA. We're not getting delayed to. Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah, you know, look at that. GTA 6 was another game that was getting a lot of bad press because of just obvious stupid reasons. If Liu Kang and Shang-Chi met, respect. The strongest Voldemort is Thog. Yeah, he is. Can't write that yet. Could Blue Beetle beat Mark Grayson? Maybe. Don't want another New Jack. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I keep hearing they're thinking about remaking New Jack City, and I don't need that either. The original is fine. You want to educate people in New Jack City? Sit them down and watch the original. Plain and simple. Warhawk, who would you book to go over? Prime Stone Cold versus Hollywood Hogan. Stone Cold all the way. Prime. I don't care what Hogan you use. It would be the same thing. Same thing. It's hulking up, blah blah blah. You stunner over. There you go. That's it. And now that's how I would book it. Is Deathstroke's armor more durable than Wolverine's claws? No. Deathstroke doesn't really have armor, really, like, because he's that good. He doesn't need it. What you probably is talking about, yeah, when y'all see him in the games, but when he's in this, he just wear a costume. He's not wearing armor. It's just spandex, you know. Adamantium can cut through nearly anything. And they fought before. Deathstroke and Wolverine. They fought when they did the Teen Titans X-Men crossover. Deathstroke was a little scared. Was scared at like this crazy little man. He's kind of crazy. I don't know. Leslie Nielsen would be turning in his grave. I don't necessarily think he'd be turning in his grave. You know, I'm not gonna put that out there, but I just feel like there's no need to remake the Lethal Weapon series. Why do you keep saying Lethal Weapon? Naked Gun. The only thing I could think of if they wanted to continue is that at the end of Naked Gun 3, 33rd and a 33 and a third, Frank and Jane had a kid. So it was like, why don't you just continue with Frank's kid? You know, and he's just as zany and weird as his pops, instead of remaking it. You know, that's how I would have done it. You know, they are doing a Lethal Weapon 5, and I just don't know why, and I know Mel Gibson even said, yeah, he's gonna direct it. So I'm like, well, Mel, you better do it, because Danny Glover is not getting any younger. So yeah, remake movies are good idea. Not wait. I'm sorry, Walt. What the hell? Like, okay, remake movies that are good idea, not executed fully right, not timeless classics. Noble Assassin, ready for Bad Boys 4? Yes, I am. I am ready for that movie. I am ready for the new Bad Boys. This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this one. Yes, indeed. The chemistry is always there between Martin and Will. It's just interesting that they're going this route now, in terms of, because if you watch the last one, you know, Captain Howard, yeah, he was shot. He was killed, assassinated by Mike's own son. But now they're saying that, that it was the department that, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. You know, so yeah, they got to explain that better. What will happen if Dr. Doom met Dr. Eggman? Oh, Jesus. Dr. Doom would school Dr. Eggman real quick on the etiquette of calling himself a doctor, or in general, like, probably would just be mortified that this guy is having this much trouble with a hedgehog. Like, you know, and don't get me wrong, Doom has suffered his fair share of losses too, but they're not on that same level as, like, when you beat Doom, it's like, yeah, you beat Doom. Like, just remember that. And he remembers it too. So I can see Dr. Doom basically like, okay, I want readings on the hedgehog. Like, what's his top speed? Da 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 blah da 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 da. His allies. What da 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 da. As soon as he analyzes all that, he'll execute a plan, and probably will catch Sonic, and then be like, yeah, you see that? See what I did? You couldn't do that. You're a disgrace. Like, I'm just saying. One movie that could use a remake is 55 Days at Pekin. The Boxer Rebellion is a fascinating conflict and a better movie about what could be cool. I think I've seen that. don't get me wrong. There are some movies that I feel could use a up-to-date remake because a lot of people may not have heard of it or seen it. I talked about a couple of horror movies. I'm a big horror fan, but I don't think if they would get away with it doing it. But like, one movie that I always felt like in horror movies. One movie where I think they could do that, like, because a lot of people like the whole, killer kids. There was a movie back in the 80s called My Bloody Birthday, and pretty much it was a movie about these killer kids, these 3 kids that were all born on the same day during an eclipse, and they were killers. They would kill me. One of them just take a gun and just blow your face off. And if you watch it, the original, you're just like, okay, it's funny. But I could imagine someone like Blumhouse taking that and just saying, okay, we can really terrify people with this, and get some of these child actors now that just are great, and then make a movie out of it. Stuff like that. But when you want to remake a movie that really had no bad of like its franchise. For example, I said it before. There's no need to goddamn remake Back to the Future, and you know why? And for that's why I love that Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, who wrote the franchise, said over our dead bodies, even wrote it in their will, like no one will touch these movies. They won't touch those movies. And I'm glad they did, because there's no need to remake them. Those are classics. And even for the time they came out, perfect. There's no need to remake that franchise at all. Any episodes of Cops you remember watching? I remember a couple of them. There was one where Long Arm, he was one of my favorite characters. He was being framed and he had to clear his name. I actually like that episode. So yeah, there's a couple. I like Cops. I grew up on that show. Wait, what? Can Orion Darkseid's son? I know who Orion is. You don't have to. Can he beat Hulk? Again, it depends on which Hulk are we talking about. Who's the more ass? Damian Wayne or Benson? Damian Wayne. Kiryu versus Baki. That's a tough one. What time is it? Okay, we good. Is it true that people do not like black jelly beans? I hate black licorice in general. I won't touch it. So yeah, I don't like black jelly beans. I don't like black licorice. If I eat licorice, it's gotta be either any other flavor but black. I won't touch it at all. It is Liz Monroe kissing Liv Morgan. Oh, Liv Morgan. Yeah, she kissed Dominic. She looked like she was sucking his soul. She looked like a damn succubus going at him. Like, that was I kind of laughed. I was like, Jesus. People were saying Dominic kissed her. No, she kissed him. Like, she sucked his face. Like, it's like she's trying to suck his soul out. And Dominic looks more and more like Eddie Guerrero. It's the funniest, especially Eddie from WCW with the mullet and the gesture. Every time Dominic comes on, I go doom 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 I'm just like he looks so much like him. When was the last time you had a drink of Coca-Cola? Is that Coke? I don't drink Coca-Cola. As much. I don't. When was the last time? Not Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Like my dad drinks a lot of Pepsi. Try to tell him to stop. Like, but I don't drink it as much. I drink, in terms of like fizzy stuff, I drink a lot of liquid death, things like that. That's what I drink. Liquid death. I would like to see the Back to the Future franchise get another theatrical run for an anniversary. Yes, those I like. I like seeing that. Seeing the anniversaries, like classic movies get anniversary theater runs. That's fine. You know, and the anniversary of this coming up, so we'll bring it out again. That's fine. But you ain't got to remake this stuff all the time. That's just me. Why do people not like Candace Flynn from? It's not that people don't like her. Candace is, instead of Candace, my issue with Candace is simple. It's like, instead of always, I'm telling, you know, she should embrace that and be proud of it. Like, yo, my brothers are engineers and things like this. Look at what they created. Instead, she always wants to get them busted. I'll never forget the time where I'll never get the time there was an episode where she needed proof to bust them, and when they were building, there was a street camera outside, so she hacked the street camera, which is illegal. She could have gotten in serious trouble. She took the tape, and then afterwards there was another part where it was up for grab. It was either the tape or Phineas was about to fall off this bridge, and he's like, "Candace, help, I'm slipping," because he was covered in oil. And she's debating on which to save, her little brother or this tape. And I'm like, are you stupid? Like, save your brother. What's wrong with you? Stuff like that. She's a trip, though. She is a trip. It's like, are you kidding me? I love Phineas and Ferb. That was a good show. That was a real good show. I love that show. I'll never forget when Phineas and Ferb found out that Perry was a secret agent. My God, I'd never seen Phineas that mad before. He was pissed off, and Perry was trying to change. He's like, "I don't want your card." Like, he's like, "How could you do that?" He's like, "How could you lie to us?" It was crazy. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Man, look, he's pissed off." I've never seen Phineas that pissed. Can Billy Batson beat the Hulk? Hulk can face Thor. Hulk can face Hercules. What do you think? Do you think he can fight Captain Marvel? I'm not calling him by that other name. I'm not calling him that. I'll keep it with his original name. So yeah, I think he could. I mean, yeah, Hulk got beat by Zeus, but Captain Marvel, aka the mightiest mortal, that's what he's called. Remember, he's still mortal. He still is very much mortal, and you know. But I think Hulk is smart enough to realize that he's still a kid at heart. He's not, you know, he ain't gonna kill a kid. Who would win, Killer Croc or the Lizard? I'm going Lizard again, because Croc is nothing's really. He's not really a crocodile. That's a skin condition he has that makes him look very reptilian. It's not that he's turning into a reptile. Kurt Connors is a lizard. If you break off a limb, it'll just grow back. Croc has maybe the strength Even though Lizard is super strong too, but I still give it to Lizard. And smart too. Brains over brawn any day. What classic movies would you like to see get re-released in theaters? Well, it's too bad they didn't do an anniversary for Last Crusade, because May 24th was the anniversary of the Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Last Crusade, which is my favorite Indiana Jones, came out May 24th, 1989. And I know that because Last Crusade has a very special place, is a very special movie to me, because it is one of the second to last movies I saw with my late mother. So it holds a very special place in my heart. Whenever that movie comes on, or I'll stop everything and I'll watch it. Even if it's like on cable, I'll sit there and watch it, because it's a very special movie to me. That and The Lion King. That was the last movie I saw with my mother before she died in '95. So yeah, those are like two movies that are special to me. Wait, you've watched Of course, I remember when that show debuted. I watched every season of that show. I love that show. There are certain quote unquote kid shows from Disney that I watched, and Phineas and Ferb was one of them. Love that show. I love The Loud House. I still watch. I love The Loud House. That show was funny as hell with me. Phineas and Ferb was just fun. A lot of the newer Disney cartoons I wish got a better shot, like Kick Buttowski. I love that show. I love Kick Buttowski. He's like the urban daredevil. He was funny. His design just made me laugh, especially when you see him from the side. It's almost like he had a overbite, and just the way he walked, and I loved him. Like Kick Buttowski. And his best friend Gunther, who was also, I think he was Scandinavian, so he had like Viking heritage. So he'd always bring it up. That show was hilarious. Whenever I'm on Disney Plus, I'll watch Kick Buttowski. I love that. Maybe you know what? I will do a video, guys, for you showing some of my favorite Disney cartoons outside of like Tailspin and Darkwing Duck and DuckTales, all the old, Chip and Dale. I'll show you. I mean, I'll do a video on that. So, yeah, I love Phineas and Ferb. Candace is a hit. She's a hit and miss. Like she's a trip. I remember the episode where we saw an older Candace. And they showed a future episode, and the older Candace, she went back in time to get the boys in trouble, and because of that, she fucked up her own world. I was like, look at her. It's the stupidest thing. And we find out what happened to the boys. Like, I think Phineas is working with the president, and because she said Camp David, I'm like, okay. And Phineas and Ferb is doing something, which is funny as hell. One of my favorite, I love where in that episode, one of Candace's kids said, that guy looks like, is that Uncle Phineas? And that girl looks like Aunt Isabella. And she said, oh, did you hear that? She said Aunt Isabella. That means I grew up to marry Phineas. Because she loved Phineas. And then so Candace said, or Ferb. Ferb don't talk very much. And then he turned around and he went. And her face is like, oh yeah, the funniest thing. Made me so, that was funny. The only time it was funny because Ferb, he was a British boy, so he was always quiet throughout Ferb, you okay? And then all of a sudden he would say something at the end. That was the rub. I loved that. And of course, you had I forgot the kind of their bully, but he always talk like this. hey, you guys, yeah, he always sounded like a chain smoker. And then of course, Abib, no, what was it? What was his name? But he was talking about my grades. I need, he's the stereotypical Hindu character, like always. My grades, I need to get my grades up. It's funniest shit out of it. Candace Flynn, what episode that will feature self? She ruined the future. Yeah, somebody, see, there you go, right there. See, Quentin, no. So your dad prefers Pepsi. Yes, he prefers Pepsi. He barely drinks Coca-Cola. You ever had a Mexican Coca-Cola or a Mexican Sprite? It tastes way different. Who should be the king of assholes? Damian Wayne, Benson, or Guy Gardner? Well, let's move Guy Gardner out because Guy's not an asshole. He's just he can be just dumb sometimes. I don't hate Guy Gardner as much as I don't like Damian Wayne. So, Benson sometimes you just want to punch him sometimes. Who would win in a fight? Anti-Monitor or Galactus? That's a tough one. Caroline, yeah, I also remember when Phineas and Ferb premiered. Yeah. Do you remember Kim Possible? Yes, I do. Kim Possible. I remember the crossover between her and Lilo and Stitch, which was fun. I like the Lilo and Stitch animated. Stitch. Family. Ohana means family. Stitch. Need another Krista. Cousin. Oh, sorry. I can do Stitch really well. Stitch. I know they're making a live action Lilo and Stitch. I seen the little girl that's playing her. Oh my God, she's adorable. I was like, that little Hawaiian girl looks adorable. She looks adorable. I was like, that's fine. It's Myrtle. Yeah. What do you want? Myrtle's a trip, too. Yeah, there were times I wish. Sometimes you just gotta hit somebody. And I always wanted Lilo just to slug Myrtle one time. Just hit her. Like, every time, because she would just always Myrtle, just her, and then she'd have her little click with her. Click, get it? I'd be like, just hit her one time, just shut her up, or just slap her glasses. Oh, your glasses. Oh, my bad. There you go. No, don't do that. That's bullying. Don't do that. Don't listen to me. But sometimes you gotta stand up. Lilo needs to stand up for herself sometimes. Myrtle was a bully. She was a bully. Is Bloodsport your favorite Van Damme movie? One of them, yes, but it's not my favorite. And it is one of my favorites. I was watching Bloodsport not too long ago. Love that movie, which is still as good as it is based off of nothing. It is not real. Frank Dukes is the biggest con artist ever. That movie is supposed to be based on his life. Fuck that. And now, as a kid, you thought it was real. But when you get older and you realize it's fake. All that shit that you see at the end saying that, he had this many knockouts in 1975 and all that other stuff, that's bullshit. He's a liar. He's the biggest charlatan ever. Real sugar makes soda better. Yeah, that's good. Can Batman beat Pennywise? No. And if somebody said, with prep time he can, yeah. We're not talking about prep time because that's always the excuse for Batman fans while any fight. If he had prep time, yeah, he could. Fuck out of here. It don't always work like that. I like the Lilo and Stitch series. Granted, some episodes hadn't exactly aged the best. Yeah, that's true. What would Muscle Man think of there we go. Buford. Thank you. Buford of Phineas and Ferb. Buford. You're pretty good, kid. something like that. Yeah. You know who else is good? Who's that? My mom. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I got the giggles. That oh man, that was funny. That was a good one. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Y'all still with me? I'm sorry. Oh, have you watched the Percy Jackson series? Not yet. I still have not watched that. I'm still catching up on a couple of series that I need to watch, but I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it. I still find it funny. Edge is in that, and he plays Ares. If Sanji met Johnny Bravo, oh boy. M. Bison versus Lex. Goodbye, Lex. What would happen if Pennywise tried to eat Kratos, his son? Pennywise is in for a rude awakening. My throat is dry. My last liquid death. Liquid death. Come on. There you go. I still got the giggles there. Are you gonna watch Star Wars: The Acolyte? Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I got Carrie Ann Moss in that. I've always been a fan of her work. She's gonna be a part of. She'll always be a part of the. Now she's gonna be a part of another big franchise, the Star Wars. That's crazy. Oh, good. I will see you next week. Sorry, I'm sending an email. Tweet, not a text message. Sorry. One moment, guys. All right. Who is more? Wait. Who is more full of BS? Frank Dukes or Snake Oil Salesman? Frank Dukes. Frank Dukes. When I found out that Bloodsport was fake, when I found out everything that kind of broke my heart, because I was like, yo, this stuff actually happened. Like there's a real thing called the Kumite and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, there were warriors that like this was a real, almost like a real like Mortal Kombat like tournament, and it was fake. I'm like, the fuck you fucker, you broke my heart. Do you like the new Kratos? I do like old man Kratos. I like older Kratos. You can see that when he aged, he's aged with wisdom. As he's gotten older, he got more wiser and less angrier. You know, that was always my problem with Kratos. It's like, as much as you feel bad for Kratos in the first couple of games, you also You also gotta be like, point your finger at you too. Like, Kratos, you caused a lot of this too. Like, you're also to blame for this reason. You could say, oh, Zeus did it and Ares did it, and yeah, look, I can write an entire, I can write a thesis on Zeus in terms of what that doofus did, what the myths of him, but at the same time, like, yeah, they're just as bad. Like, Kratos is just as bad. Did you like you American? You mean, did I like the American Dragon novel? Yes, I did like American Dragon. I was a fan of American Dragon. It was fun. I liked that series. What I loved about it, it brought a lot of cryptic zoology into it, because, as you know me, guys, I'm a big cryptic fan. I love, cryptics, and if these, like the Goat Man and Jersey Devil, and here in New York we have Champ, who was like our version of the Loch Ness Monster. He's upstate. He is up in Lake Champlain, and the Dog Man and Skunk Ape, and I Chupacabra, the Dark Watchers in California. That's a bunch of cryptic. Asawan, which is the Filipino cryptic. Scary too. When I read that, just reading about that, the Asawan, I'm like, that's scary. Like, Asawan are like, they look like women, but they're bats, and they come after children, and I'm like, oh, like, what the fuck? Like, nope. Do you think Gambit, Mordecai, and Rigby would be good friends if they met? Well, I think Gambit would be a little old for them, like, but yeah, I think he could teach him a little something. Remick could teach him a little something. Dante Sparta versus Kratos. I can't decide on that, because I love Dante. I used to hate from the Owl House, but when she got redemption, I kind of and where was I going? Have you seen do you think about the sequel? Yeah, I've seen Moana. I've seen Moana. To me, that's another, because I'm a big mythology buff, so I know about a lot of the Polynesian mythologies, and and things like that. So yeah, I like that. That was great. I know they're working on a sequel, and they're working on a live action film where The Rock will play the live action. Why am I forgetting his name? I'm bugging out on names right now. The demigod. Fuck. Why am I forgetting his name? Why am I forgetting their names? I can't believe I'm forgetting this damn name right now. Maui. There we go. I'm forgetting his name. How I forget his name? A favorite creature from Greek mythology. Pegasus. I'll use Pegasus. Next would probably be the Minotaur. Next to that would be Gorgon, the Gorgon sisters, which there are different legends about them. My favorite legend in terms of the Gorgon sisters, you know, Medusa and her other sisters. My favorite myth of that is the one that they unfortunately, the whole concept is that Medusa was very pretty. She was a very pretty woman, and Poseidon wanted her, and you know the Olympians, they can't take no for it, so they just, you know, I would hate to be an Olympian god. Because I would be disgusted with every one of them to a degree. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? Like it really is. It's like, it's really disgusting sometimes when you look at the you read the mythologies of the Olympians. You know, Poseidon rapes. Well, you know, I don't want to get, but you know, the R word, Medusa, and instead of scolding her uncle, Athena curses Medusa, and her sisters decide to take the same oath. They, you know, you do that to our sister, then you do it to us too. That's the one I like in terms of how the Gorgons happen. Now, it was always stated in every mythology that I read is that Medusa was the only Gorgon sister that was not immortal. That's why, you know, her head, you cut her head off, she's dead. But her other sisters were immortal, and they were, I think it was your Layla, who was probably the most deadliest and fiercest out of all of them. We get to see them in God of War. You get to see them in God of War. That was probably the first game that I can remember seeing that they actually included all the sisters, like all of them, and they did a good job of making them look just terrifying. One looked bigger than the other. It was crazy. That's my favorite. But yeah, I could never be an Olympian. I would like, first of all, I would like, if I interviewed the Olympians, if they were real, they would probably kill me before I even got the interview out, because I would just harp on all of them. I'd be like, Hades, you married your niece. You had a thing for your niece. You know how wrong that sounds? Persephone was his niece. Just remember that. You married your niece. That's gross. What's wrong with you? I would get on Zeus so fast. Like, you know why your wife acts the way she does? You're dumbass. Because of you. You're the reason why she will go after mortals, even if you don't even do any. If you just even look in their direction, oh, you're looking at, I'm a mess with her. You know, it's just like and Hera, I'll be like, you got a problem with Hercules. You did all this cruelty to him. He did nothing to you other than just being born from your dickhead husband. You know, that's how I would be all over the Olympians like crazy. Like, some of them I would probably like, okay, well, you're not that bad, you know, but you're an asshole. You're a you know, you're sleeping with your niece. What is wrong with you? You know, just stuff like that. Like, it's ridiculous. The funny is this, when you really read into it, you really start like, Jesus. Okay. Have you played Predator Concrete Jungle? I wanted to, then I didn't play it. What X-Men character can beat Pennywise? There's a couple of them. Do you think Professor Xavier would shoot Benson's mind if they met? I don't know. What happened when Dr. Fate dies? Naboo will go on to the next. All right, guys. And with that being said, that was the last question. It is now 12:06 a.m. here in New York. I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. I want to thank everybody who came out and chilled with me, hung out for a while. I will be back next month. Again, we'll do this again next month. Don't forget to look out for my Adventures with Superman, the premiere review. I'll do that. There's got some more comic reviews coming up. I will do the Disney thing. Like I said, I will do that as well. And I've seen Quentin. If you're still here, I see, dude, that you joined my Patreon. I appreciate that. You are part of the free members. Congrats. I do have some things coming for the free members as well. So it's not just for the paid members, but there will be some free member exclusive stuff. And that is about it. I want you guys to have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you guys next time for another round of open mic night. You guys take care. Later, guys.